One act by Troupe 8191, I Never Saw Another Butterfly by Celeste Responti.
Zuzana Winterova, 11 years old, perished at Auschwitz October 4th, 1944. Gabriela Friova, 10 years old, perished at Auschwitz May 18th, 1944. František Brozan, 14 years old, perished at Auschwitz on December 15th, 1943. Eva Belova, 15 years old, perished at Auschwitz October 4th, 1944. Liana Franklova, 13 years old, perished at Auschwitz October 19th, 1944. Alfred Weizkopf, 16 years old, perished at Auschwitz December 18th, 1944. Hansa Kosek, 16 years old, perished at Auschwitz January 21st, 1945.
My name is Raya Inglenderova. I was born in Prague. Father, mother, Pavel and Erika, Irina and Hansa, they are all gone and I am alone. But that is not important. Only one thing is important. That I am a Jew and that I survived Terezin. Terezin was a fortress built by Emperor Joseph II of Austria for his mother, Maria Theresa. About 60 kilometers outside of Prague, it slept quietly in its green valley under blue skies until...
March 5th, 1939, German Wehrmacht enters Prague. December 1st, 1939, Jewish children excluded from state elementary schools. June 14th, 1940, Auschwitz concentration camp set up. September 27th, 1941, Reinhard Heydrich orders the mass deportation of Jews and establishes Terezin as a Jewish ghetto. October 16th, 1941, first transports leave Prague for Terezin. Among them were children.
You must go alone now, to the bathhouse, dear. What is your name? I am Irina Sinkova. I'm a teacher here in Terezin. You'll come to school with us, won't you? You are from Prague? I once taught in Prague. It's a beautiful city. You know, when I first came to Prague, I was about your age. I remember how frightened I was. But after I made some friends, I was happy to live there. Now you are not alone, and you must not be afraid either. Now that you know my name, you must tell me yours. How can we be friends? I won't know what to call you.
My number. Here.
Raya Inglenderova. Come, Raya Inglenderova. Let me tell you about our school. There's much to do here in school. You'll be coming with us. Tomorrow, perhaps. There are many children. We have few books, but we have many songs. Every day, if you wish, you may paint and draw. Here, see, each of the children has drawn a spring picture. Would you like to draw? I can find some paper for you, and then tomorrow, you may begin. See, we saved all the paper we can find. Forms, wrapping paper, and some of the children brought their own. Would you like to choose a piece of your own, Raya?
My name is Raya. And so I began to heal. I and the hundreds of children who passed through Irina Sinkova's school. It was months before I could say anything, but my name is Raya. I said it over and over, just to hear the sound of my own voice. Perhaps just to make sure that I still knew my name. It was an accomplishment for me. Irina knew it. She gave me paper and paint, and I carved my name in these stiff, crippled characters. Raya, Raya, Raya! It helped me be sure that I was still alive. One day, I suddenly wrote another name, Irina. It was then that I knew I was healed. I could sing and draw and paint again. I could tell Irina the things I was remembering, the things I was no longer afraid to remember.
Quiet now. Don't be afraid. Remember, we are together. Whatever is done, whatever you see, whatever you hear, remember you are not alone. You will not be afraid. Come, sit close together.
I was one of them, the children of Terrazin, one who saw everything, the barbed wire fence, the rats, the lice, one who knew hunger and dirt and the smells. I sat in Irina Sinkova's classroom to write and paint the story of those days. I never saw another butterfly, the last, the very last, so richly, brightly dazzling yellow, perhaps if the sun's tears sing against a white stone. Such a yellow is carried lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye. For 7 weeks I've lived here, penned up inside this ghetto, but I have found my people here. The dandelions call to me, the white chestnut candles of the court. Only, I never saw another butterfly. That butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live here in the ghetto.
It has been weeks since I've come to this ghetto. I didn't know that such a thing could happen to me. When I go home, I'm going to eat only white bread.
When I go home, I'm going to make my bed every day. When I go home, I'm going to drink hot chocolate in the winter. Lots of it. When I go home, I'm going to have white curtains. Rugs too.
I'm going to play ball in the courtyard when I go home and shout if I want to.
I'm going to sit very quietly and read storybooks as long as I want to. When I go home. All night maybe. I'm going to play the piano when I go home. And everyone will sing and we won't care how noisy we are.
When I go home, I've lived here in the ghetto more than a year, in Terrazin, in the Black Town now. And when I remember my old home, so dear, I can love it more than I did, somehow. Home, home, why do they ever tear me away? Here the weak die easy as a feather, and when they die forever. I wish to go back home again. It makes me think of sweet spring flowers. Before, when I used to live at home, it never seemed so dear and fair.
In Terrazin, in a so-called park, a queer old granddad sits somewhere in this so-called park. He wears a beard down to his lap and on his head a little cap. Hard crusts he crumbles in his gums. He's only got one single tooth. Instead of soft rolls, lentil soup. Poor old graybeard.
May I call you Grandpa? I have no grandfather. You have no overall.
Tuesday, March 16th, 1943. Today I went to see my uncle in the Sudeten barracks. Only, when I got there, the guards threw potato peelings on the floor, and the people fought for them!
Tuesday, April 6th, 1943. Tomorrow the SS men are coming. No children can go out on the street. Daddy won't know this, and I'll die of hunger by evening. Wednesday, April 7th, 1943. I miss Daddy today, but I didn't cry. The other children couldn't see their parents either.
We aren't allowed outside of the barracks. We can't go in the streets without a pass. And children don't get passes. They say this can last weeks or even months. Like a bird in a cage.
Last night I had a beautiful dream. I was home. I saw our street and our flat again. Now I am disappointed and out of sorts because I woke in my bunk instead of my own bed. home anymore, it's a hospital. Everyone avoids us and half the children are sick in bed. The number of the sick goes up every day. Rooms full of patients, and the doctor does not know what to do with them. There's a great deal of tension among the older children as well. They are beginning to send transports to the new ghettos, into the unknown. But 1,500 children will arrive tonight. They are from Poland. We are making little toys, these bags and nets for them.
You can't guess how old they are. They all have old faces and tiny bodies. They're all bare-legged and only a few have shoes. They return from the reception center with their heads shaved. They all have lice. They all have such terror in their eyes.
The poor thing stands there vainly, and vainly he strains his voice. Perhaps he'll die. Then can you say how beautiful is the world today?
We got used to standing in line at 7 o'clock in the morning, at 12 noon, and again at 7 o'clock in the evening. We would stand in a long line with a plate in our hands, and they would give us a little warmed up water with a saltier coffee flavor. Or else they gave us a few potatoes. We got used to sleeping without a bed, to saluting every uniform not to walk on the sidewalks, then to walk on the sidewalks again. We got used to undeserved slaps, blows, and executions. We got used to seeing people die in their own excrement, to seeing coffins piled full of corpses, to seeing the helpless doctors. We got used to it that from time to time 1,000 unhappy souls would come in, and that from time to time another 1,000 unhappy souls would go away.
Monday, September 6th, 1943. Today I got up at 6 to see Zdenka. Only when I got there, the last people were just going through the gates and boarding the train. It was all boarded up so they could not escape, so no one could get to them. But I jumped over and ran up to the last people going through the gate. I watched as the train departed. And in one of the cars, Zdenka was riding. Where did Zdenka go?
Transport to the east.
Why?
Work. Resettlement.
Auschwitz?
Auschwitz?
She'll not come back. Jerry told us and he knows you died if you're at Auschwitz.
Raya!
It is true, I know. You die in chimneys and ashes. And when you die, you burn to ashes.
You do not know this is true.
I know it is true. So do you. But you think because we're children we do not know.
What have you heard? Where?
Harry told us he came from Warsaw. You die and every day the trains go and no one returns. And he escaped, he knows. How is it that you do not know?
I've heard the same talk. It can't be true. Think, Raya, such things can't be true.
But it is. Every day people go and no one returns. They're gone. Zdenka, last night we shared our breath together and we sang, and now she is gone.
No.
And Eva and Miriam and Mariana and Gabriella and Susanna.
I miss them too.
Irina, we promised that next year back in Prague we'd go to school together, we'd play in the park. And now they are gone. They are gone.
They were your friends. You loved them. Do not forget how you worked together in this very room. Their pictures, see?
No, they will burn them tonight.
Raya, listen to me. You are no longer a child. This minute, you are no longer a child. And so I tell you, I have a child. She is 9 years old. She was torn from my arms and thrown from the train by an angered guard. I tried to throw myself after her, but I was dragged back into the car. I wanted to die until I came to Terezin and I found thousands of children waiting for me. And then I knew I must not die. Do you understand? child, and so I tell you, I have a child, and she lives whenever I comfort another child or dry her tears.
One by one, the transports came. Mother, Father, and Aunt Vera. There was no one who could remember me before I came here as a child of 12. But there were many left standing as the transport started up. Cars crowded, boarded, and sealed. Then we turned and found each other.
Yuri. They said they wouldn't take him. He was a plumber, an electrician. They said they wouldn't take him.
Everyone goes. Yuri, was he your friend?
He was my brother.
You are Hansa. Hansa Kosek, I've heard about you. My name is Raya. My brother, also Pavel and Irka.
I know. They got married and they're on the train now. What's the good of that?
They're still together.
What's the good of that?
Together they'll not be afraid. That's the good.
You are afraid.
What if I am? You are laughing at me. You think I'm a coward.
Well, I'm laughing at you because you're a girl and you don't know the first thing about anything.
Well, it's all easy for you. I've seen how you slip past the guard. It's all easy for a boy.
Maybe. My father was beaten and left for dead before my eyes. I saw it. I couldn't move. I was so afraid, but I didn't run. I didn't understand it until my father died and told me. You're a good boy, Hansa. You are afraid, but you are not a coward.
I'm sorry. Well, it's late. I have to go now.
Where are you going?
House number 25. Where do you live?
House number 2, on the other side near the wall.
There's 30 girls in our house, most of us from Prague. Irina, she sort of runs the compound. She lives with us.
We live alone and we elect our own leader.
Well,
And we have meetings, secret ones.
don't you have one of the older men with you?
What for? We're all old enough. We work in the fields.
So do we. I'm old enough. Yes.
Well, we take care of everything ourselves. I'm the leader now. I was elected, so I'm in charge.
Well, don't you guys go to school?
Oh, we do sometimes. But sometimes we just have meetings where the boys, or the leaders from the boys' homes get together and we talk and plan.
Well, plan what?
Well, we talk about and plan, like, if somebody has an idea about something, we talk about it, or somebody does something we don't like and we tell them to, quit it or else. A lot of things. But we're working on something right now.
For the boys' home?
Not just for the boys. We're gonna have a paper where we report on news that happens in the camp.
Well, have you got a printing press?
We don't need one. It's not that kind of a paper. We make copies of the news and we post them around the barracks.
Would you put one in the girls' home?
I suppose we could. I never thought about it.
I'd copy it over. I could do that.
I suppose we could, but I'd have to talk to the rest about it. It's a great idea. I've got to go. We're going to have a meeting about the paper.
Okay.
You can come if you want to.
And so Vadim was born and lived for 3 years and helped us live. At night, we would wait to read the copy that was posted in our barracks. And when later it was read aloud for safety, no one was missing. It was an invisible line of communication, so that even across the dark nights and the crowded barracks, the youth of Terezin grew up together. Hansa, is this week's video ready? I don't have long.
Here it is.
All right, I'll take it and start copying it.
Wait, we talked about it in the meeting. We could run some of the poems from the girls' house when there's room.
Irina will be glad of that. I'll tell her. The little girls all got excited when she mentioned it was a possibility.
Well, there wouldn't be room for too many.
I'll tell her. I'll see you.
Oh, wait, I saw you in the field today.
I know.
Only I couldn't say anything.
I know. I saw you across the road.
Maybe we could plan a way to meet here just in case there are messages or anything.
Hansa, it wouldn't be safe. The guards are everywhere.
Well, we meet here at night.
They think we're inside the barracks.
Hey, I'm not afraid, are you?
No. Well, yes, I guess I am. They beat you.
No, it wouldn't be the first time. I always get up again.
But Hansa, someday you might not.
Someday maybe I won't, but what difference does it make?
Don't talk like that.
Wait, I was only kidding.
It would be lonesome with that. I mean, the boys obviously need you and the paper, and Irina says you're the only one she can trust.
Others
today.
could do that.
It wouldn't be the same. Hansa, these past months have been good friends. I miss you.
I meant to say that first.
Good night.
Good night. Raya?
Hansa?
Raya, I have some flowers for you.
Hansa, if you get caught, it won't end well.
Okay, but see, you know the corner outside the gate with the flowers?
The prisoners aren't
Well,
allowed.
they can't stop us from looking at it. Look, from here, you see the corner with the flowers and all the butterflies?
I see them.
Well, I'm giving them to you. And every time you pass,
I'll say they're mine. Hansa gave them to me. All the flowers and all the butterflies. Thank you, Hansa. Hansa! Irina gave me a book of poetry. I picked a poem and I left it for you at the shed in the field.
I know, I found it, and I read it. And I left one for you. Read it sometime.
I will.
Right, look.
Hansa, what on earth?
Open it, but be very careful. It's really expensive.
Well, it must be since you crawled through the barracks to bring it. Why didn't you just leave it in the shed?
Oh, it can't be left. It's not around here.
Hansa, you did it? A sausage? What? How? Where?
I liberated it.
Liberated it.
Well, actually, I took it.
Stole it is more like it. No wonder it tastes so good. Hansa, you are too brave.
I won't be here for a few days.
Hansa, what is it?
I mean, don't make any chances to meet me, I mean.
Hansa, what is it?
It's nothing, it's just a special detail to build something outside the fortifications.
But what if something happens, Hansa?
There'll be a chance for extra food, maybe another sausage.
I don't care about the sausage, Hansa, I'm worried.
Don't worry. They want the job done. They want us to build some sort of walled courtyard outside the barricade. Nothing much can happen. I've gotta go.
Goodbye, then. Goodbye. Please come back! Raya, it's all right.
A message came through.
What is it? Please tell me.
The boys are back. All of them.
I've been holding my breath for 2 days. I can think of nothing but Hansa.
What would you have done if he had not come back? If weeks and months had passed?
Waited and held my breath again for tomorrow. And waited again.
Waiting days are long days, Raya. You would learn to stop thinking of tomorrow and to keep alive today. That's the secret of waiting. Remember that. To keep alive today.
I don't know how, Irina. I'm afraid.
Afraid of tomorrow? Then think of today. Now, can you live until evening?
Yes.
And tomorrow morning, can you live until noon?
Yes.
And at noon, in the heat and the hunger, the stench and the weariness, can you live until night?
Yes. Yes.
Then you will survive. Each day you find some reason.
As you have done.
Yes, somehow one of us is sure to survive. One of us must teach the children to sing again, to write on paper with a pencil, to sing and to draw, paint. So we survive each today.
The singing, the reading, poetry and the drawings. It was part of our survival. In spite of the SS guards and the laws against teaching, Irina kept school in the children's barracks. An older boy was always on guard, and at sight of an SS man he would whistle, and the teaching would become children's games. Games were permitted, but learning was a crime for Jews. We had books. Each of us had one in the packs that we carried. Professional actors, musicians, and singers brought with them their repertoires. Irina brought Ludwig, the children's opera, and she did it with the children. Thousands heard its melodies, and hundreds of children experienced in the rehearsals and performances the strongest impressions of their short lives.
Eva Heska, 14 years old, perished at Auschwitz. Ella Hilarova, 13 years old, perished at Auschwitz. Hannes Hackenberg, 14 years old. Peter Fischl, 15 years old. Marika Friedmanova, 12 years old. Francis Dick Betts, 15 years old, perished at Auschwitz. Hansa Kosek.
Hansa?
Ryan, don't turn, don't move, just listen.
Hansa, where are you?
Don't turn, don't move. Please just listen.
Hansa, what is happening?
I have a number in this transport.
No!
Ryan, don't turn, just listen. I have a number and I must report.
Hansa, please.
But the news is good.
What?
The war
What
is
do you mean?
the war is coming to an end.
No.
Things are going bad for the Nazis.
No.
Something will happen after long. Ryan, please listen.
Hansa, where are you? I'm coming with you.
You can't. It's too late. You must wait here.
Hansa,
You must wait here for me.
I cannot live waiting. Please.
I am here with you wherever you are. Please listen.
I'm listening.
I have something I never told you about the poem. Well, I wrote one too. Remember, for the contest?
You never handed it in.
It was supposed to be about a memory, only I wrote it about you.
You never told me.
I'll leave it here, under the post, near the corner. Read it sometime, but don't laugh. You laughed at the other poem, remember?
I do.
When you read this,
I won't laugh. I won't. I promise. Hansa?
don't come out here, the guards, just wait here for me. Goodbye.
Hansa? Hansa? Goodbye. Goodbye. Memory, come tell a fairy tale about my girl who's lost and gone. Tell about the golden grail, and bid the swallow bring her back to me. Fly close to her and ask her soft and low if she thinks of me sometimes with love. If she is well, ask too before you go if I am still her dearest precious dove. And hurry back, don't lose your way, so I can think of other things.
But you were too lovely, perhaps to stay. I loved you once. Goodbye, my love.
Goodbye. It was the motto of Terezin. It should have hung over the entrance instead of a lie that greeted newcomers. Work makes us free. It was goodbye, not work, that made us free. It was the only thing we knew would never change. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. It freed us all. After all, what was there to fear when you had said goodbye to everyone you ever loved?
Raya Himlanarova. You know by now that my number, 102-866, is called. When you come to school today, you will see that I have gone. I've wrapped up the last of the pictures and paintings in my shawl. See that these are buried with the rest, somewhere. And remember what they mean to all of us. I have nothing else to give you but this. What you and all the children have made of Terrazin. The fields, the flowers, and all the butterflies. Goodbye.
Irina Sinkova perished at Auschwitz, January 28, 1945. And I have survived. Father, Mother, Pavel and Irka, Zdenka, Hansa, and Irina too, in the end, perished at Auschwitz. And I, Raja Inglenderova, after the liberation, returned to Prague. Alone. Alone.
For 7 weeks, I've lived in here, and up inside this ghetto, and I have found my people here.
Now you are not alone, and you must not be afraid.
Some Polish children are coming. We're making toys, little bags and nets for them.
I went to look for Zdenka. She cried and laughed at the same time. She was so happy to see someone before she left.
I never understood it until my father dying told me. You're a good boy, Hansa. You are afraid, but you are not a coward.
Somehow, one of us is sure to survive. One of us must teach the children how to sing again, to write on paper with a pencil, to do sums and to draw.
He doesn't know the world at all, who stays at his nest and doesn't go out. He doesn't know what birds know best, nor what I want to sing about. But the world is full of loveliness.
Raya, I am with you wherever you are.
I have nothing else to give you but this. The fields, the flowers, and all the butterflies.
Father, Mother, Pavel and Irka, I hear you. Hansa, I hear and I remember. Irina, I remember. My name is Raya. I am a Jew. I survived Terrazin, not alone and not afraid.